Language Experience Method.
Good day everyone. My name is Jasmine Willing and today we are going to discuss about the language experience method. So, do you know what is language experience method? So, language experience method, it is a strategy to develop and reinforce reading and writing using personal experience and students on repertoire of language. It is typically the language experiences approach involves a shared experience such as everyday happenings, common school experiences, a classroom event or hands-on activity, but can also include students' personal experiences or ideas. So, example for this is your students may draw a picture of dad in a car. In that case, you would write underneath in the drawing that dad is in the car. Or example, you continue to collect drawings your students makes and write a short sentence underneath each drawing. A picture of a playground would read, "We went to the playground." When you're collected enough pictures, you make them into a book for your students to read again and again. Write underneath the drawing a description your student gives for drawing. This way, your student will remember much better what is written. First, you will write every word and sentence. Slowly, your student will begin to trace over the word you have written. And finally, the student will write the words and sentences alone. The students themselves initiate with their own experiences through projects and other resulting interactive activities. Example, going on a trip, seeing a movie, looking at a picture, etc. Children acquire language through interactions, not only with their parents and other adults, but also with other children. All normal children who grow up in normal household, surrounded by conversation, will acquire the language that is being used around them. Language experience approach is a method actually uses students' own words to help them read. Some people use this method as a first approach to reading in order to help their students understand that what they've drawn and what you have written is a form of communication between the students and yourself. The language experience approach supports learners' concept development and vocabulary growth while offering many opportunities for meaningful reading and writing activities through the use of personal experience and oral language. Experience in one language will benefit the learning of other languages. The language experience approach, or LEA, is an effective method to help promote literacy development. Read is through their own words. Students relate an experience and a scribe, like teacher, tutor, parent, or more knowledgeable students, writes down what the student says. The transcription is then used as a literary source. It involves actually a personal experiences. Community literacy refers to those social practices outside schools. Literacy instruction encompasses grammar, listening, oral language, reading, speaking, spelling, viewing, and writing. And it involves service learning, is a form of teaching that combines instruction with meaningful community service experiences. So, how it works? It has a 5 steps. Number 1, teacher and student discuss the topic to be focused on the dictation. Observations and opinions are exchanged. Oral language skills are developed and reinforced. The student dictates an account or story to the teacher, who records a statement to construct the basics reading materials. The students read the story several times until the story has become quite familiar. Reading comprehension is made easier by the fact that the student is reading material that is self-generated. Individual story words are learned, the other reading skill are reinforced through teacher design activities related to the story. Students move from reading their own dictation to reading other author materials as they develop confidence and skill with reading process. In this approach, the student themselves initiate experience through projects and other resulting interactive activities. In their authentic language, students dictate their experiences to the teacher who translate their story into written English. With this documentation as a basic material for reading and writing instruction, the teacher helps the students see the connection between what they signed and what was written. The teacher uses this language experiences to develop new vocabulary, comprehension, and basic of English grammar.
The learning experience method theoretically support based on several key language learning principles. First, learning occurs from the known to unknown. When we say learning occurs from known to unknown, it means that the process of learning typically starts with building upon what we already know. We use our existing knowledge and experiences as a foundation to understand and grasp new concepts or information. By starting with that, what is familiar to us, we can make connections and relate new information to what we already understand. This helps us make sense of new ideas and concepts more easily as we continue to learn and expand our knowledge. We can gradually explore and understand more complex or the unfamiliar topics. Okay, the second one is learning occurs most effectively in general to specific direction. When we say learning occurs most effectively in general to a specific direction, it means that the learning process is often more successful when we start with a broad or general understanding and then gradually move towards more specific details or concepts. Or let us say that when we use this method in teaching English, we should first teach the basic before the hardest one or the complex. Next, struggling adult readers usually have a low concept as readers and need to be assured of some immediate success. So, when we say struggling adult readers usually have a low self-concept as readers and need to be assured as some immediate success, it means that adults who struggles with reading often have a negative perception of themselves as readers. They may lack confidence in their reading abilities and feel discouraged or defeated by their difficulties. For these individuals, it is important to provide them with opportunities to experience immediate success in their reading journey. This can be achieved by offering reading materials or tasks that are at appropriate level of difficulty, allowing them to successfully comprehend and engage with the content. Okay, by assuring struggling adult readers of immediate success, we can help boost their confidence and self-esteem as readers. This positive reinforcement motivates them to continue their reading efforts and gradually build their skill and abilities. Okay, the fourth one is everyone reads at every LEA session. When we say everyone reads at every learning experience method session, it means that in learning setting or session utilizing the learning experiences method, all participants are actively engaged in reading. This method emphasizes the importance of reading as a fundamental aspect of the learning process for everyone involved. Okay, let's proceed to the language. So there are four skills. The first one is speaking. In the learning experience method, the speaking skill can improve when the students actively engage because the learning experience method encourages active participation for all participants. Through reading and engaging with the materials, learners gain knowledge and develop their understanding of the subject matter. This increased understanding provides a foundation for expressing their thoughts and ideas more confidently when speaking. Okay, the second one is the writing. Writing skills can improve in this method, especially when learners practice and receiving feedback. The learning experience method often involves writing tasks or assignments where participants are required to express their understanding or opinions through writing responses. By regularly participating writing in the context, learners can refine their writing skills. Additionally, receiving feedback from peers or facilitators help identify areas for improvement and guides learners in enhancing their writing abilities. Okay, the next one is the grammatical skills. When students expose into writing materials, the learning experience method often involves reading various materials such as article, books, or research paper. This exposure to writing text exposes learners to different grammatical structures, sentence patterns, and vocabulary usage. By observing and analyzing this example, learner can develop a better understanding of grammar rules and conversations. Okay, the next one is reading. When students reading a variety of texts expose learners to new words, phrases, and expressions. Through the learning experience method, learners encounter unfamiliar vocabulary and context, which aids in understanding word meaning and expanding their vocabulary. This expanded vocabulary enhances reading comprehension and facilitates future reading endeavors. So, how can we most effectively adopt the LEA? Okay, the first one is providing all the input for some time and taking the heat of the students. Okay, when we say providing all the input for some time and taking the heat of the students, it means that the teacher or the facilitator takes on the responsibility of providing information, explanations, and example to the students without expecting them to actively participate or contribute initially. This method allows the students to focus on receiving and absorbing the information without the pressure of actively engaging or generating their own input. By providing all the input, the teacher can ensure that the students receive a solid or strong foundation of knowledge and understanding. This can be particularly helpful when introducing new complex concept where it is essential to establish a clear understanding before expecting students to actively participate. Okay, the next one is we have advocates the use of picture or word cues to initiate and contextualize topics of conversation. When we say that, it means that there is a recommendation or support for using visual or verbal prompts to start and providing context for discussion or conversations. Picture cues refers to visual aids such as image, photographs, or illustration that can be used to introduce a topic or provide a visual reference for discussion. These cues can be stimulate interest, engage participant, and providing a shared point of reference for everyone involved in the conversation. Okay, the next one we have there cooperative learning. Cooperative learning is often incorporated into the learning experience method just because of the collaboration and communication of the learners. Okay, cooperative learning encourages students to work together in a group or pairs to achieve shared learning goals. It promotes communication and collaboration among students, allowing them to exchange ideas, discuss concepts, or solve problems collectively. This collaborative environment enhances social interaction and helps students develop effective communication skills. Okay, let's proceed to learning experience method. Follow up lesson on grammar. Okay, grammar is a fundamental aspect of language that allows for effective communication. By teaching grammar, the learning experience method helps students develop the necessary language skills to express themselves accurately and clearly. Understanding grammar rules enables students to construct meaningful sentences, convey their ideas, and communicates their for thoughts more effectively. Okay, we have here a lexicon. Lexicon or a vocabulary. Vocabulary is essential for understanding and comprehending spoken and written language. By teaching lexicon, the learning experience method helps students expand their vocabulary knowledge, enabling them to understand a wider range of words and phrases in various contexts. Next, we have pronunciation. Pronunciation is crucial for clear and effective communication. By teaching pronunciation, the learning experience method helps students develop accurate pronunciation skills, enabling them to be understood by others more easily. Diba? Okay, clear pronunciation enhances overall communications and reduces the chances of miscommunication or the misunderstandings. Okay, um, let's proceed to spelling. Spelling is essential for effective written communication. By teaching spelling, the learning experience method helps students develop the ability to accurately represent words through correct letters sequences. This enables them to write words correctly and convey their ideas clear in written form. So, that's all in my part. Thank you.
The LEA. Although there is no one super method for language teaching, LEA offers a useful and effective method for beginning literacy interaction. How? By linking the student's language and experience in learning. Language experience encourages students to explore, think, and talk. This talk during and after the language experience provides first, many opportunities to expand students' vocabulary. So, it provides many opportunities to students because it integrates real experience, authentic language use, and cooperating learning environment. Second is extend their knowledge of grammar. It makes their grammar a natural and essential component of communication. Also, it helps the students in internalizing grammatical structures and rules that is applicable to their language development. Next is scaffolder interaction. It supports their learning environment, fostering independent thinking and skill development. Next is language experience activities also help to provide a bank of experience that students have in common. It helps pupils understand and find the language more relatable. Also, it promotes language development, pupils' communication, and their understanding is improved. Next, this can be recalled and referred to in subsequent learning because it helps students to maintain a connection between language and real life experiences of students. It also allows students to have a strong and long lasting language learning process. Next, language experience are often related to current topics or students' own lives. They can be particularly effective when linked to a specific text. Example: the role of the teacher is to model the writing and the thinking aloud process. The teacher's role in modeling writing and thinking aloud process is the key to support the language learning. It also encourages students in critical thinking and helps them develop their language skills. Next, to develop writing skills and introduce different writing genres through many lessons. Next, to promote reading as a strategy for students to remember what they are writing about. So, promoting reading can improve or enhance students' writing skills by exposing them to a variety of concepts. By reading, students can learn on how to think critically. Next, to develop purpose of writing and writing for an audience. By focusing this, it helps students in producing interesting and meaningful content. Next, to demonstrate appropriate writing conventions. Teachers serve as models for proper writing conventions, showcasing grammar, punctuation, and formatting. It helps students a clear understanding of effective written communication.
How to record language experience. Ask students to sign what they are learning, act as a scribe, and write in English what is signed. Sign back to the students to make sure they agree with the story that was written down. Think aloud to demonstrate process to students. Thank you for listening.